A stone cottage for 10,000 euros. An apartment for less than a car. An entire farmhouse for the price of a kitchen remodel. The photos look incredible. The villages look peaceful. And the price? Almost too good to be true. Here's what those listings don't tell you. Because when homes are this cheap, there's usually a reason. Something happened. Something changed. Here are 12 places in Europe where homes cost almost nothing, and the stories behind those prices. Legrad, Croatia, the €1 village. On paper, Legrad sounds appealing. A quiet village near the Hungarian border. Rolling countryside. Traditional red-roofed homes. And houses sold for as little as €1. Yes, €1. But there's a reason. Legrad has been shrinking for decades. Young people leave for Zagreb or Germany. Schools close. Shops disappear. What remains is a small community of elderly residents. The local government began selling homes for symbolic prices just to attract new residents. But buyers must commit to renovating and living there. That's the catch. Because cheap houses are only cheap if you ignore the cost of isolation. Limited jobs. Sparse healthcare. Few services. Legrad isn't abandoned, but it's slowly losing population. And the €1 price tag is less a bargain and more an urgent recruitment strategy. Sambuca di Sicilia, Italy, the Instagram illusion. Sambuca made headlines for its €1 houses. Sun-soaked Sicilian views. Stone townhouses. Instagram perfect alleys. It looks like a dream. But the reason for the ultra-low prices is demographic decline. Italy has one of Europe's oldest populations. Small towns are losing residents as birth rates fall and youth migrate north or abroad. In Sambuca, entire streets were left empty. Buildings decayed. Roofs collapsed. The €1 initiative was a bold attempt to repopulate a declining town. Buyers must renovate within strict deadlines, often spending €30,000 to €100,000. The challenge isn't crime or danger. It's demographic reality. A town struggling to maintain its population. And the cheap house is part of a last-ditch effort to reverse the trend. Pernik, Bulgaria, industrial aftermath. Pernik was once an industrial powerhouse. Coal mining, heavy industry, Soviet-era pride. Then communism fell. Industries collapsed. Jobs vanished. What remained were aging apartment blocks and shrinking opportunity. Bulgaria has lost nearly 20% of its population since 1990. Pernik is one of the affected cities. Apartments here can sell for under €25,000. The reason? Economic stagnation and mass immigration. Entire generations have left for Western Europe. The city feels caught between eras. Infrastructure strains. Wages lag behind EU averages. The homes are cheap because the economic outlook remains challenging. When economic opportunities dry up elsewhere, property values reflect that reality. Chernobyl exclusion zone. Ukraine, the nuclear shadow. Technically, you can't just buy a home in Chernobyl's exclusion zone, but abandoned villages inside it have value close to zero. The reason is well known. The 1986 nuclear disaster forced tens of thousands to flee. Entire towns were sealed off. Nature reclaimed homes. Radiation lingered. Some areas have seen limited return, but property values remain symbolic. Properties in the exclusion zone represent one of the most extreme cases of how disaster can reshape entire regions. Chernobyl is a reminder that sometimes homes are cheap because the land itself became uninhabitable. Valga, Estonia, the divided border town. On Estonia's southern border lies Valga, a town literally split between two countries, Estonia and Latvia. It has charm, history, forest rail links, and apartments selling for €15,000 to €30,000. Why? Because border towns often struggle. Younger residents move to Tallinn or abroad. Local economies contract. Valga's population has declined sharply since the 1990s. Schools merged. Businesses closed. The challenge is gradual demographic decline. When people leave faster than they arrive, homes lose their value. Cheap property here reflects a shrinking population and limited local opportunity. Asturias' forgotten villages, Spain, the rural exodus. Northern Spain's Asturias region is stunning. Mountains, green valleys, Atlantic cliffs, and entire villages for sale under €50,000. Spain's rural interior, known as España vaciada, emptied Spain, has suffered decades of depopulation. Young people migrate to Madrid, Barcelona, or abroad. What remains are aging populations and shuttered farms. You can buy stone farmhouses cheaply, but many lack modern infrastructure. Broadband is limited. Jobs are scarce. The reality? A rural exodus so intense that some villages have more empty houses than residents. It's beautiful, but it's increasingly isolated. Chemnitz, Germany, the reunification legacy. Germany is wealthy, stable, industrially powerful. So why are apartments in Chemnitz
So like other
sometimes
cities in
under
Germany,
40,000 euros?
Chemnitz
Because Eastern Germany still carries the legacy of reunification. After 1990, industries collapsed across former East Germany. Massive
there is a
unemployment
large
followed.
park
Though
located in
Chemnitz
the
has
middle of the
improved,
city.
it still experiences population decline,
Large
economic
buildings,
lag compared
and
to Western
right in
cities.
front of the
Vacancy rates once soared above 20%.
is not
Entire
far
buildings
away
were
from the
demolished
park.
due
It's
to
just
oversupply.
at this
The underlying factor is structural.
mall.
Decades of uneven
Near this mall
development
is their
after the
VAT
fall
house.
of the Berlin
There
Wall.
are many
Cheap homes can reflect historical transitions. Taranto, Italy, the industrial trade-off. Taranto sits in southern Italy with sea views and ancient history, and shockingly affordable property. But it also sits next to one of Europe's largest steel plants, long associated with severe pollution. Studies have examined potential links between emissions and health problems in the area and nearby communities. Property prices dropped. Families moved away. Low property prices here reflect concerns about industrial pollution and its health impacts. When environmental concerns arise, buyers become more cautious, and prices follow. Narva, Estonia, the geopolitical edge. Narva lies on the border with Russia, literally across the river. It's historically Russian-speaking, geopolitically sensitive. Since Estonia joined NATO and EU, tensions with Russia intensified. Narva's strategic location has raised concerns. Population decline, economic stagnation, security anxieties. Apartments can be found under 30,000 euros. The factor here extends beyond economics to geopolitical considerations. Border towns sometimes feel like sensitive zones, and markets respond to uncertainty. Calabria's hill towns, Italy, the economic divide. Calabria offers beaches, mountains, and dramatic scenery, but its hill towns are among Italy's economically challenged areas. Youth unemployment has been elevated for years. Entire villages have lost population. Homes sell cheaply, sometimes under 20,000 euros. The challenge is economic. Limited investment, few local jobs, ongoing immigration of working-age residents. Cheap houses are often in towns where opportunity has become scarce. Moldova's rural countryside, Europe's economic edge. Though not in the EU, Moldova is geographically European and among the continent's least wealthy countries. Rural houses can sell for astonishingly low sums, under 15,000 euros. But Moldova has faced mass immigration. Millions have left for work in Italy, Russia, and beyond. Villages shrink. Elderly populations remain. Infrastructure lags. The underlying factor is economic challenge. When wages are low and opportunity scarce, property loses demand. And when demand disappears, so does value. Pripyat, Ukraine, frozen in time. Pripyat was once a thriving Soviet city, built for nuclear plant workers. Modern, optimistic. Then 1986 happened. After the Chernobyl explosion, residents evacuated within hours, expecting to return. They never did. Today, Pripyat stands frozen. Apartments sit untouched. Toys still lie in abandoned schools. Ferris wheels rust in silence. The homes are technically worthless. The reason is clear: a nuclear disaster that forced permanent evacuation. Pripyat shows the extreme end of the spectrum. Sometimes homes are cheap because life itself was forced to leave. The pattern behind the prices. Across Europe, cheap property usually signals one of four underlying factors. Demographic decline. Young people relocate. Birth rates fall. Communities shrink. Economic transition. Industries close. Employment opportunities shift elsewhere. Environmental concerns. Pollution or disasters affect livability. Geopolitical factors. Border locations create uncertainty. Cheap homes are rarely random. They're often reflections of larger regional challenges. The real story. A €1 house makes headlines. A 15,000 euro cottage sparks curiosity. But property prices are economic indicators. They reflect opportunity, stability, and long-term prospects. When homes are cheap, it often means something else has become limited: jobs, services, or investment. Europe still holds beauty in these places. Some are slowly recovering. Some are reinventing themselves. But behind every unbelievably cheap listing is a story. And sometimes, the story explains the price better than the photo ever could. These aren't necessarily bad investments for the right person, remote workers, retirees, or those seeking slower lifestyles. But understanding why prices are low is the first step to making an informed decision.